You don't self-sabotage because you're weak. You don't do it because you're broken. You do it because part of your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do, protecting you. And the thing it's protecting you from is the person you're trying to become. Most people hear self-sabotage and immediately reach for shame. They call themselves lazy, undisciplined, their own worst enemy. And that framing feels true because the behavior looks so irrational from the outside. You wanted the thing, you were close to the thing, and then somehow you were the one who took it apart. But here's what that explanation gets completely wrong. Your brain is not irrational. It is running a program so efficient, so deeply embedded, that you mistake it for a character flaw. The program has a name. Psychologists call it psychological homeostasis. And understanding it might be the most useful thing you ever do. Your body already runs on homeostasis. You know this part. When your temperature rises, you sweat. When it drops, you shiver. The body has a set point, a range it considers safe, and it will do almost anything to pull you back inside that range the moment you drift too far outside it. What most people don't realize is that your psychology works exactly the same way. You have a psychological set point, a hidden internal image of who you are, how much you deserve, how safe it is to be seen, how much success is normal for someone like you. That image was built slowly, over years, out of everything that happened to you before you were old enough to question any of it. Your family, your early failures, what people said about you when you were 8 years old and had no way to argue back. And your brain filed all of it under one quiet label. This is who you are. This is what's safe. The moment your actual life starts drifting too far above that set point, something activates, not maliciously, not even consciously. Your brain just begins to correct, the same way your body sweats, the same way your pupils contract in bright light, a reflex, automatic, invisible. And that correction is what you call self-sabotage. In the 1980s, psychologist Pauline Clance began studying a pattern she kept seeing in her high-achieving clients. People at the top of their fields, professors, executives, artists who were convinced, on some deep, private level, that they didn't belong there, that someone had made a mistake, that the gap between their inner image of themselves and their outer reality had grown too wide. She named it the Imposter Phenomenon. But what she was really describing was homeostasis trying to close the gap. The bigger the distance between where you are and where your set point says you belong, the stronger the pullback, the stronger the urge to undermine, delay, disappear. Not because you want to fail, because somewhere below conscious thought, success feels more dangerous than failure. This is the part that most self-help completely misses. It tells you to want more, to believe in yourself, to take the leap, and those instructions are not wrong, but they're aimed at the wrong part of the brain. You can consciously want something with every part of your mind and still have a set point that treats that thing as a threat. The conscious want and the unconscious correction are not in conversation. They are running in parallel, and the unconscious is faster, older, and far better resourced. Does not argue with you, it just acts. A missed deadline. A drink too many the night before something important. An email left unanswered until the window closed. A fight started for no clear reason right when things were going well. None of these feel like protection. But that is exactly what they are, the brain pulling you back inside the lines. And here is where it gets genuinely uncomfortable. The set point doesn't just protect you from failure, it protects you from success, because success brings exposure, it brings expectation, it brings the terrifying possibility that people will now see you clearly, the real you, and decide you were never worth it. To a nervous system built for threat detection, visibility feels exactly like danger. Being seen is being vulnerable, and vulnerability, to the oldest part of your brain, means something could hurt you. So the system shuts it down before you can be seen, before you can be judged, before you have to find out what happens when people finally get close enough to look. This is why self-sabotage spikes at the threshold, not in the middle of failure, right before success. The closer you get to the thing, the harder the pullback, because the set point isn't responding to where you are, it's responding to where you're going. And the research supports this in ways that are difficult to explain away. Psychologist Neil Bernstein found that people consistently underperform in situations where performing well would fundamentally change how they see themselves. The threat isn't failure. The threat is identity change. You are not afraid of losing. You are afraid of winning so completely that the old version of you no longer fits. That is not a small fear. That is one of the deepest fears a human being can have. Because that old version of you, the one built in childhood before you had any say in the matter, the one your nervous system still thinks is real, it wants to survive, and it will, until you make it unnecessary. The only thing that actually moves a psychological set point is not motivation, not discipline, not willpower applied from the outside. It is slow, repeated, undeniable evidence that the new version of you is safe, that being seen didn't destroy you, that success didn't exile you from the people you love, that you survived the discomfort and nothing collapsed. The set point moves through experience, not intention, and it moves slowly, slower than you want, slower than any self-help book will admit, because you are not just learning a new behavior, you are dismantling a belief about who you are that has been running unchecked since before you understood what beliefs were. So the next time you watch yourself, pull back at the worst possible moment. The next time you find the excuse, lose the momentum, start the argument, miss the window. Try just for a moment to hold it differently, not as weakness, not as proof that you don't deserve it, but as a nervous system doing the only thing it knows how to do. Keeping you inside the lines it learned was safe. The lines were drawn a long time ago, by people and moments you mostly can't remember. And they have been quietly deciding what you allow yourself to become ever since. You didn't draw them, but you are the only one who can move them.